Hello everyone and welcome back to our channel. I know we haven't posted in a long time, but we'll try to do better this year. We have been trying to do a garden tour video for almost a month now, the beginning of June, but we've been having so much rain that we just didn't get a chance. So now it looks like it has finally stopped for a while. So I want to start this season by giving you a garden tour and show you what it looks like right now at the end of June. So follow me right this way. So on this side over here we have changed it up a bit and extended the garden. Last year we grew potatoes and onions over here, but it wasn't very successful, so we tried something else. Right here on this patch we have paste tomatoes, around 60-ish plants. We grew this from seed. I saved some seed when I was processing tomatoes last year, put them in a napkin, dried them, planted them in soil, and this is what we got out of that. I hope they are paste tomatoes. I don't remember using anything else, but we'll see. So this patch is kind of like a surprise tomato patch because I'm not sure what's gonna come out of this. Hopefully it's gonna be big juicy tomatoes, but we'll see. We planted a green onion bed, which kind of failed in being green onions because they grew so fast. We couldn't keep up with them. We gave a lot of it to friends and family, and we still ended up with this many onions, which we're gonna let grow, develop into big onions that we can dry and store for fall and winter. Here we have a few volunteer sunflowers. I know I grew some, I think 1 or 2 sunflowers here last year, and I had a lot more, but I pulled them out because I needed the space. So yeah, this is the onion patch. And moving on over here is kind of a mess. So let me start over here. So these 4 plants are all cauliflowers, which if you take a look over here, they are almost ready to harvest. Now I did try to cover them, but I didn't do a very good job. So hopefully nothing will get to them. In maybe a day or two we're gonna come here and harvest all of these. So these were all, the rest of the row is all broccoli plants, which we put in, I think, sometimes around in March. And I thought they had enough time to grow, but apparently they didn't. The weather was so hectic that it was either too hot or too cold or too rainy. I think most of them went to seed, and not even developing big enough heads to harvest. They just were small and went to seed. Some of them in the back have rotten from all this rain. So yeah, this is a big fail. But our bunny rabbit is going to be very happy because this is all going to go to him. Moving on here, on this row we have 4 Brussels sprout plants, which I'm really excited about. This is the first time we're trying to grow these, and they're doing really well so far. So hopefully nothing bad's going to happen to them. Moving on here we have red cabbages and white cabbages, and they're doing great so far. They haven't been attacked by any pests, or at least not anything that could do a lot of damage. So yeah, really excited. Some of these cabbages will be ready I think next week, which is awesome. I can't wait to eat fresh cabbage from the garden. Yeah, this is it with this patch. Actually, there's something more that I want to show you in the back over there. Follow me. So this is our very, very failed attempt at planting corn. We tried to plant 3 rows of corn. One of those rows came up, 2 of them not so much, but it was just for fun, so no loss there. I think it's just gonna look good in the garden. But yeah, that's it for this patch over here. So I'm gonna take you right now into the greenhouse to show you what we're growing there, and then we'll move on to the orchard. Come on. So in this greenhouse, during early spring, We kept bringing in all of our seedlings in here and then moved them into the house at night because they were still freezing temperatures, and then back in and then back into the house, and that was fun. But at the end of April we built these raised beds here on each side, and we planted tomatoes and peppers. So on my left side here we have 8 tomato plants, which have been growing like crazy. They look really good. They have just started to set their first fruits. They're really small, but I'm sure they will grow fast from here on. I was worried about them dropping their blossoms because it gets so hot in the greenhouse, but so far we haven't had that issue because of the crazy weather we've been having and didn't reach crazy temperatures. I usually come in here every 1 or 2 days to water everything and try to tie the tomatoes around the strings because they are growing like crazy, a few centimeters in 1 or 2 days. So I really need to keep up with them, pruning them, tying them up, and watering them. Here on the right side of the greenhouse we have built another raised bed because the soil is terrible in here, and we planted hot peppers, basil, and loofah gourds. So this is filled with 4 habanero plants, think about 6 or 7 jalapeno plants, some normal basil, purple, and mammoth basil, which is really awesome. It has huge leaves and it's been doing very well so far. And 2 loofah gourd plants, which we've been trying for the first time this year. I know they have a long growing season, so that's why we've planted them in here. Hopefully they can produce something for us. We'll see. I've noticed that some of them have started to produce their first teeny tiny flowers, so hopefully we'll have loofahs soon. Next to this bed, we didn't have enough soil to build this until the end of the greenhouse, so for now we're just gonna leave it like this. And here we have planted some zucchini because it didn't require a lot of soil and we had this extra space, so we figured might as well. We have just started our seedlings for fall. We have started some broccolis, cauliflowers, cabbages, kale, and some lettuce so far. I think we'll be starting more as we go, but I wanted to make sure I start these now so that we can get them in the ground in August-ish. Okay, so I think this is it for the greenhouse. Follow me into the orchard so I can show you what we've planted in the hugelkultur bed. So this is our hugelkultur wannabe bed. I'm saying wannabe because this I think was supposed to be this tall. But we gave up on adding soil, so we just made a mini herb garden for this year. We'll see, maybe we'll fix it next year. But right now we have just a bay plant, which looks awesome. I bought this as a start and it's doing very well. This is some tarragon that we received from a friend and it seems to do fine. We received some roots and I've planted them, and this one seems to have survived. Not this one, not so much. Here we've tried to plant some bloody sorrel, but it did terrible. I'm not sure why. We'll try to plant it somewhere else next year because poor thing just is stuck basically. I think it was attacked by ants as well. So we didn't have any luck with it this year. So here I transplanted the thyme plant, which seemed to have died, but then now it looks like it's alive, so I'm just gonna leave it there for now. In that corner over there I have a rosemary plant, which I also transplanted. On this side over here I planted some dill seeds and they're just starting to come up, so that's awesome. And this mess over here is basically a volunteer squash, a volunteer tomato, and some onions from the compost that started to sprout, so we just plucked them in the ground for now. And yeah, that's it for this bed. Let me take you into the backyard garden to show you what we have there. This is our backyard garden where we have most of our varieties of stuff. We have 2 rows of pepper, 1 row with beets, we had spinach and some parsley. Then we have a full row of eggplants, another row of some brassicas, just some cabbage, cauliflower, kale, and some kohlrabis, and then 2 rows of tomatoes. The last row we have cucumbers, and then the side and the back is all full of summer and winter squash. So let me show you, starting right over here. This first row over here we planted mostly bell peppers, just green and red bell peppers. We have a few volunteer calendulas, and at the end of the bed we have 3 tomatillo plants. Now this year we had better luck with peppers than last year. Last year they were just sad little things that just, I think we had maybe 5 peppers in total out of around 20 plants. This year they're looking so much better. They are full of flowers and tiny little peppers, so hopefully they will continue to grow and give us a lot of harvest out of them. So far I'm really happy. This whole row of peppers we bought as starts from a local nursery, and the other bed was all grown from seed by us. These are the tomatillos I was telling you about. They have grown like crazy. I don't even know if I was supposed to prune them. This is the first year we're growing them. They have branched out. I tried to give them some support, but they're just all over the place. So I think maybe a tomato cage would have worked better. Now they're full of blossoms and tiny little tomatillos. So hopefully we'll get a good harvest out of these. I cannot wait. I've tried them last year and they are absolutely delicious, so can't wait for these to give us full-grown tomatillos. In this section of the bed we have beets. We have 2 different types of beets. I don't remember exactly what I've planted right now. I've just plucked the weeds from this section today, which should give them more space to grow. Hopefully they were kind of suffocating from all those weeds, so hopefully they'll do better. We're just gonna have to stay on top of them, but with so much rain it's not easy. So in this section here we had spinach, but we pulled everything out and we left a few plants just to go to seed so we can save it, and I've left it empty for now because I think I want to plant some fall crops in here, so I'm just going to leave it blank until I'm ready to do that. On this section here, well, this is a mess. Initially we planted parsley, then the weeds grew, then we plucked the weeds, the parsley grew, and then we had surprise tomatoes from our compost. So now this is all filled with parsley and tomatoes and some weeds. I don't want to pluck the tomatoes out. I don't want to leave them here. I'm not sure exactly what I'm going to do with them. If you have any ideas, tell us in the comments below, but right now it's just a mess. So I think we're going to have to come in here one of these days and just figure it out. And this is our eggplant bed. I think we have around 24 plants in here. They're not doing so well. I don't think they're very happy with the weather we've been having. It wasn't very hot. It was raining constantly, so I'm just hoping that when the rain stops and the weather just starts to pick up, they will just shoot up. But so far they didn't die, which is good, but they're not doing very well either. I honestly don't know if we're gonna have a good harvest of eggplants this year. We'll see. Let's move on to this bed where we have some brassicas. So I think right here we have some cauliflower. I lost most of the tags, so I don't know exactly what is here. I know I had 2 more plants over here, but they died. I left it blank because I'm not sure what to put in here right now. And then I think 2 more cauliflowers and a few cabbages, which are doing great. They should be done in a few weeks. And then this is some purple kale, which is doing awesome. We've been picking it and blended it into smoothies, but I think we're gonna have to start figuring out what to do with it because this is just going crazy. I mean, look at the size of the leaves. And yeah, and it looks awesome. Look at Beautiful purple stem. And I just love how it looks, green with the purple. Anyway, so yeah, we're gonna have to figure out what to do with it. I'm not sure if I like it stir-fried. I'm gonna have to try it. But yeah. And here in this end section we have some kohlrabi and a lost cauliflower plant. I think I just mislabeled them. We picked some kohlrabi. We have a few more, but just look at the size of this thing. I don't even know if it's still edible. I mean, this one is even bigger. I mean, look at it. It's huge. So I have a teeny tiny one over here. I'm gonna have to probably come in here tomorrow and pick them, see if I can use them. Now these two beds are our tomato beds, and we just got around to tying these plants up because, well, because of the rain we weren't able to do it, and because of the rain we had to do it. They were leaning on the ground and we were worried that they're gonna get diseased. So we just drove some posts into the ground. We tied them with fencing wire and then some strings down to the tomatoes, and we've wrapped the tomatoes around the strings. Now, again, same thing here. I have to come in every few days to train them around the string because they're growing so fast. But overall, they're healthy. Some of them have split into two branches because either I did not stay on top of the suckers, which I doubt it, or they're just mutant tomatoes and they're just growing all kinds of shapes. But other than that, they're really healthy. They're starting to produce their first fruits now. They're full of flowers. This bed here on the left side is mostly just Romanian heirloom tomatoes. And on this side is all my crazy exotic tomatoes, like dark galaxy tomatoes, blueberries, goldberries, what else? Brad's atomic grape. See, and right here we have our first Brad's atomic grape, which, look at it, it looks amazing. I cannot wait for it to ripen. They are all doing great, full of flowers. We have a few more tomatoes over there. Let me show you. These are the blue goldberries, and look at them. They look amazing. They are full of flowers, and all those flowers have set fruit. I mean, just, it's loaded. And I cannot wait to taste them. They're supposed to be a dark blue on top and yellow on the bottom. I have a few more tomatoes on these two plants. Now, I don't remember exactly what type of tomato this is. I'm gonna have to go back and look. But this one, I know it's a black cherry tomato, and I think I only had one plant, and started to produce its first tiny fruits, and I cannot wait to taste them. So I'm really excited. They're supposed to turn black when they're fully ripe, and I cannot wait to taste them. It is the last row where kind of just got out of control. So in the first section we planted radishes. We ate so much of them, we gave away, and there's still a lot of them that just, I think, bolted. Most of them just bolted. So we have to pull them out and figure out what to do with them. In the middle section it's a little tomato forest from our compost. And I'm not even sure what we tried to plant there because nothing came out except for tomatoes. And I'm pretty sure we did not plan on planting tomatoes there. And on the end we have some arugula that just bolted. We're gonna have to pull that out in a few days too. And on the side of this row we have cucumbers. Let me show you these crazy radishes. I mean, let me just pull one out. Well, actually it's not that bad. This one's not bad. It didn't bolt yet. But yeah, we'll see if we can still eat some of these. What we can't eat, I don't know, we'll find someone who wants them for their animals or something and give them away. Alright, so over here, as I was telling you, it's a tiny tomato forest. Now I know we had some seeds planted in a strip of compost that we brought from the back, and I think the tomato seeds were in the compost, but whatever we planted did not come up, so only these tomatoes. And the same thing with the ones in the back. I don't want to pull them out. I don't want to leave them in here. I don't know what to do with them. So if you have any ideas, do you want tomatoes? Can you please come here and get yourself some tomato plants? Well, we have a few lost chickens in here. Well, they're baby chicks, so hopefully they're not going to do a lot of damage. Just going to send them home after I finish with this video. But they seem happy. So this is, well, what's left of our arugula plants. I think all of them bolted. Now, I heard that you can eat the flowers and put them in salads, but we're not going to do that. I think I'm just going to leave a few to go to seed so we can save the seed. And the rest I think we're going to give to our chickens. Now, I know that this turns bitter after it bolts, so I'm just going to see if that's the case. Yep, very much the case. It still has a good flavor, but it's a bit too strong and kind of bitter. Oh no, excuse me. And also spicy. Whew, okay. Right, so the idea behind this row was to plant the spring crops here, and by the time our cucumbers are starting to grow, these are going to be pulled out, and we're going to leave enough room for these to grow. But as you can see, we're a bit behind with all the rain that we've been having. So here they're just starting to reach. Oh, something broke it, and I think it might have been one of our chickens. So they're just starting to reach the first wire over here. We're just gonna put more wire the more they grow, so we can give them the necessary support. But yeah, these are the cucumbers. We have, I think, 12 or 13 plants. Last year I know we had 6 plants and we had more cucumbers than we knew what to do with them. So I don't know why I planted 13 plants this year, but we'll see. This is the last section of the garden, where we have mostly summer squash, winter squash, and a few melons. We use this landscape fabric to try and, well, keep down the weeds, because I know last year by the time the squash plants were coming out, they were just smothered by weeds. And with such a big section, it would have been a nightmare to stay on top of that. So for now, this works really well. So we were just finishing filming the garden tour video and our camera died, so I switched to my phone really quickly to tell everyone, well, to thank you for watching, and take care of yourselves, and hopefully we'll see you back here soon. Right, Wishley? Yeah, tell everyone goodbye. You're such a good dog. Yeah. Alright, bye. Take care.